What's up, everybody? Welcome to NIBScast episode 60. I'm one of your hosts, Aaron Lamping, joined as always by Nikki13.
Hello.
Matt Slade's here too.
Yep, I'm here, finally.
And our special guest, Josh Hancock.
Hello.
But on, some might say.
No.
How you guys doing?
Good. Good, I got stung by a wasp.
So we're going out to Matt's. Not Matt's farm. I was going to say Matt's farm. Yeah. So, this sounds like a death trap out there. There's ticks, there's cats scratching eyeballs.
No, it's nice.
I'm pretty excited. So yeah, haven't done a show in a couple weeks. That's my fault. Sorry about that, folks. But we've got all the E3 news to catch up on, so it's bound to be a good show. We're going to jump right in. We're going to do it a little out of order since Sony was my favorite press conference. We'll start with the Microsoft press conference. So their conference kicks off, and Josh, what do you want more than anything else in the world?
But another form of Xbox?
Yeah, buddy! The Xbox One S, or Slim, has been announced, and it will go on sale for this August for $299. It'll be 40% smaller and support 4K video. The original Xbox One is currently on sale for $279.99. It looks nice. I've already got an Xbox One, and with the next announcement, you really don't need an Xbox anymore.
They
so.
gotta think of like better names.
Wait, so the Slim is how much?
It's $300.
For
Yeah.
So it's just $20 more than the normal. It's smaller and it supports 4K.
4K video, and it has like HDR or something like that, where your whites and blacks are better if you have a TV that can support that. Yeah. But so yeah, I mean, so really the only point that the big one's cheaper right now is they're just trying to get through stock before this just becomes the base
but it's
unit.
not like significant
So
enough
is it
cheaper
on
that it's...
sale right now, or is it for sale for $279?
It's on sale for $279.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna go back up to the same price.
Maybe, maybe not. It depends, because I mean, once the S comes out, that's going to be the unit. They're not going to sell the old box anymore, probably.
Oh, I gotcha.
I would assume so.
I mean, and either way, this is Microsoft we're talking about. It wouldn't surprise me if they tried selling both models for $300 at the same time,
Yeah.
even though one is superior to the other.
Yeah.
Cool, got it.
That sounds about right.
So then they spent the rest of the conference basically telling you why you shouldn't buy this new Xbox One Slim, starting first with Xbox Play Anywhere. This is Microsoft's cross-buy/cross-play between the Xbox brand and Windows 10 PCs. It will work on all future coming Xbox exclusive titles. So if you buy the digital copy of the game, you own it in both places.
So it's only Xbox exclusives.
As far as I know right now, I'm sure they could open that
Well,
up.
currently,
Halo's not being retrofit. The first game to do it, and they showed off, was Gears of War 4.
and then also
Gears of War 4 is an Xbox exclusive.
Yes.
That sucks.
Forza Horizon 3, Halo Wars 2, etc.
Yeah, basically all the games they talked about,
But
they said for sure.
if you can get it also for your PC, then you
Yeah,
never actually have
that's
to
fair.
own an Xbox, which is fine by me, because I'm never buying one.
Yeah, no.
So anyway, like I said, the first game they showed off is Gears of War 4 that will have this feature. It looks really good. They showed it off on the one. They were showing the difference with the dynamic lighting, which, I mean, does look nice, but from what I know, like, that's like really high-end TV stuff
And
right now.
your saves
Yeah.
and achievements will go between the two.
The thing that, like, games for Windows Live. The thing that I'm worried about with the cross-buy is if it's only for Xbox exclusives, that means that the games are going to be made for the Xbox, and they're going to be ported to PC. At least that would make sense if it was supposed to be an exclusive in the first place. You would design it for that console, and then because you have to make it cross-buy, then you have to make a port on the PC, which means it's probably going to suck.
I mean, on the bright side, it's fairly easy to just hook up an Xbox controller to your computer, so hopefully...
Yeah, but the controls aren't the only things that get fucked over in ports, though.
Well, yeah, but that's usually one thing that definitely gets...
I mean,
Yeah,
according
that's fair. It is the most common.
According to Phil Spencer, they have like the technology that at least the first parties. So I mean, this might not do anything for like a second party exclusive, but the first parties, they have an engine and technology that allows it to switch back and forth fairly easy. Or so they say. We'll find out when Gears of War 4 launches on October 11th, 2016. Funny you bring up the controller. The new controller that ships with the S has a built-in Bluetooth for that functionality, so you can just hook it up to your computer from there.
It didn't have It didn't go through Bluetooth already?
Nope.
I know the PS4 one does. That doesn't make sense.
They,
Xbox being up to date.
they also, while talking about that, I didn't put it in the notes, but they announced like a new make your own controller thing where you can like pick the colors of the buttons all that, and you can get it engraved with your gamer tag or something like that.
Everybody mentions during the last generation that, you know, Nintendo was ahead of the game with you know, motion controls, and everybody else tried to catch up with motion controls. Nobody talks about the fact that, I mean, let's talk about PlayStation. You don't have to buy AA's for fucking everything. You don't have to. You do with Xbox and Wii. And now this generation, fucking Wii switched over to having internal rechargeable batteries, and I believe the Xbox One did too. Did it?
No, it's still using.
It's still using double. What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't get that. That makes no sense.
And like even before that, they were using RF for their wireless connection, and PS4 switched over to Bluetooth, and now Xbox is catching on.
Well, Microsoft probably has like a secret like controlling monopoly in like Energizer batteries and shit. They're probably like, ooh, we gotta keep our batteries getting sold.
Yeah, CEO probably just has stock in it or something.
Anyway, they went on to show a Sea of Thieves trailer, and it was just pirate ship battles and stuff. That's the Rare game. It's set for release later this year. It's a Play Anywhere title. Scalebound, the exclusive from Platinum Games, announced co-op play and show some gameplay of a giant boss. Again, the second party, it said it will be Play Anywhere. Recore, the Keiji Inafune-led game, will be launching on Xbox One and Windows 10, of course. September 13th, a trailer was shown off, and I can't confirm this because I haven't found anything, but I heard on one of the podcasts I listened to that this is only supposed to be a $40 game. So be on the lookout for that.
What is?
Recore.
Which one is it?
It's the Keiji Inafune game that he was working on
Didn't he fuck
instead
up
of
Mighty
working
Number
on Mighty Number 9. Yeah.
Why would I want to buy it?
That's probably.
It looks really like it.
It was his moment to fuck up. Like he could have done nothing, and it would have been great. But then he started doing things and just fucked it up.
Last E3, they showed like this really awesome, clearly not in-game engine trailer that made everybody think, "Oh, this is going to be like a big AAA game."
It was in engine.
And then they showed
and
it
then
off.
they changed. And then they changed the engine.
And I mean, it still looks like it could be a decent game, but like it's all like, oh, that's a little more budget than we thought it was going to be. Like this isn't. I'd say this is like a AA game, maybe. We'll have to wait and find out. Final Fantasy 15 had a terrible trailer and did basically in every conference it was in. Which is really sad because I thought the demo looked like the demo had me sold on it, but then everything else I'd seen is just like, oh yeah, game in development for 10 years probably will be bad.
The demo just kind of reminded me of Kingdom Hearts a little bit.
That's probably why
like it was really like
was that where they
dream sequency? I don't know.
Was that where they got in the car?
And I don't mean it
drove
in
and,
any sort of like
off?
bad way, because like I don't mind Kingdom Hearts, but like it seemed very Kingdom Hearts to me.
Dead Rising 4 was finally announced. I had originally written down that it was an Xbox exclusive, but that was that crap they ran into with Tomb Raider where they just refused to be clear. It's a one-year exclusive deal. This will be launching holiday 2016. I believe they ended up saying like December 4th, the first Tuesday right after.
I think I played the first and second one, and that was it.
One thing you can always count on from Microsoft. They'll be clear with you about details that might benefit them to not be clear about. Yeah, you can always count on that.
Forza Horizon 3 was announced. The installment in the madly popular racing series will be coming to Xbox exclusively on September 27th. I mean, I say Xbox exclusively, Windows 10 too. I'm not going to differentiate.
That game looked pretty. I saw some screens from that.
I was about to say, I have too, and I really like it. That's the more arcadey one. It's
the
not
Horizons?
Like, yeah, the Horizons are the more arcadey one. I mean, it's still difficult. I always play with the drive assist, so it tells me when to slow down. Otherwise, you just like beef into corners, and it's terrible. Moving on, Halo Wars 2 was shown off, and it was delayed out to 2016. But however, it won't be long.
Pushed to February
21st, 2017. This will be an Anywhere game. See, apparently too, I was reading that the Xbox One version is not running well right now, but the PC version looks good. CD Projekt Red has announced that the long-rumored standalone Gwent game will be coming to consoles and PC. No.
Meh.
Got nothing on a release date for that. Apparently a lot of people... There was a lot of think piece articles when Witcher 3 came out. They're like, is Gwent better than Hearthstone?
No.
You heard it here first, folks.
It was not. You want to give me a fucking card game from a video game? Give me fucking Triple Triad any day.
What's
Final
that?
Fantasy.
Final Fantasy.
They'll have the standalone Blitzball game before that.
Yeah, fuck that.
State of Decay 2 was announced with a 2017 release window. That was kind of a neat game. It ran really bad.
Oh no.
Fucking Hutball. I liked Hutball. That was fun.
It would. I feel like it would have been fun had people just
Dude,
not been completely incompetent.
Those Old Republic keyboards that came out with the game.
I saw that.
They're like running like between $200 and $300 on eBay
Some dude found one at a Goodwill in his town
for like $15.
For $15. It's the Razer. It's one of the like nice Razer MMO keyboards.
Right.
Like
Because
that
it
has
has
like the
custom
mouse
buttons.
trackpad and the like Gmail button and all that shit. Yeah, it's like $300. Picked it up for $15 and like thought he was getting a deal. Like he saw it and went, that's probably more expensive than I think it is. And he bought it and then he went home and he's like, oh shit, no, it really is.
Yeah, like
I think I just robbed Goodwill.
in the past couple months, like 7 were sold, and they were sold between $90 and $280.
Jesus.
Anyway,
there was a couple other small things in this. Again, I know we're not super Xbox people here, so I didn't want to put it all in there. But the conference ended with the ultimate. Josh, why do you want to buy the Xbox One Slim?
So you can wait for the next one coming out in a few years.
Xbox Scorpio was teased. It will be a huge step up from the Xbox One, but remain in the same ecosystem, supporting all Xbox One games and peripherals. A video was shown off, and I say this like Cartman was saying, like Ron Howard and others, like Todd Howard and others, said they really wanted this in a video they put out. Nothing was really said about it. It's a holiday 2017 release. And basically what we got out of the video, because they were all like, 6 teraflops, it's going to be so damn fast. Unlike the PS Neo leaked specs, and again, leaked specs, so we don't know too much about it. This actually seems like the next generation of Xbox, which if you think about time, by the time this comes out, it will be the same amount of time between Xbox and Xbox 360 as it would be between the One and the Scorpio. So this makes it seem like Microsoft...
So we're reverting.
Yes. So it won't last as long.
But
this seems like Microsoft moving forward with their everything will come forward with it that they were talking about. How they always... Like, they just want backwards compatibility to always be a thing. So here's the next Xbox. Don't worry, you can still do all... Like, we're not splitting up the ecosystem. You'll still be able to play online together.
Bet you it won't launch with Xbox 360 compatibility.
But I mean, at a certain point, like, if they're making everything compatible with Windows 10, and they're putting Windows 10 in bloody everything, including computers that don't want Windows 10, or can't even support Windows 10, why the hell am I going to want to go buy another Xbox when I can just use one of my 5 computers that have Windows 10 because they made me upgrade to it?
Yep.
Anyway.
I'm right there with you.
Alright. Nintendo. They weren't really at E3, but they were there with the new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wilds. So they finally gave that a title, showed off trailer, and played it for a while. I think it was really cool.
It does, I mean...
I know Nick wasn't excited about it. We'll get to him after you, then.
Well, I'm taking the approach with it that I take everything of I will judge it when I play it. Kind of like a movie, I avoid most things and I will judge it when I see it. But it could be good. It looks like it has potential. Seems like they've actually put work into it. I feel like they could actually make something fun out of it.
So they said they were working on this when they announced the Wii U.
Yeah. I mean, I am kind of pissed that they decided that they had to delay it, and I feel like mostly just to make it an NX title, or an NX launch title. But, it's also to be expected from Nintendo. So
I mean, they're so close to a new console, it'd be silly not to.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's irritating.
Because if it worked, if the NX works the way Nintendo wants it to, they're gonna have more people are gonna buy this. So it'd be silly to strand it alone on a console with an 11 million install base, as opposed to hopefully whatever they get out of the NX.
So what are your problems with it, Nick?
I've watched every announcement trailer for every Zelda since Ocarina of Time on the internet, right when they came out. Been excited and waiting for all of them. This is the first one that I watched the entire trailer and went, like I wasn't excited. I watched the trailer and I thought that I can see what they want to do, and I can see where that could be good. I can also see overwhelmingly where that's not going to be what they end up getting. And again, it is Nintendo, so I'm probably wrong about it. But I can see where they're wanting to go, and I can easily see with a number of examples that I could give where they're not going to get to where they want to go with it, and it's going to be an aimless mess.
Yeah.
Just because, don't get me wrong, it is a step back to form with the fact that it's more open world, like Ocarina of Time was, like Majora's Mask was, like The Legend of Zelda was. It is more of a return to form in that aspect. However, they have to be very careful how they handle the quest.
Yeah.
I think they gotta go all or nothing. They either have to make it so it's more of a Witcher, more of an Elder Scrolls, you get side missions from people, and you also have your main mission, and you can just fucking ignore that if you want. Or there are NPCs, and this is The Legend of Zelda. Like the original Legend of Zelda. They have minimal impact. You just kind of show up, and they don't tell you anything.
From what I've read, it sounds like they've been going more the Skyrim route of you can run around and do whatever the heck you want.
Right, and I guess it's a fine line between the two things that I was saying, because like you can still run around and do whatever the fuck you want, but you have to go out and find the fucking quest, like you did in The Legend of Zelda. Like you show up and you grab a sword out of a cave, and you're like,
Well, that's what it sounds like they've been going for, though. Is it? From what I've been reading on it, it's basically just that. There's like several hundred different things you can go do. You have to go find them. You can do them in any order. I don't know that they've really specified if there's anything that directs you to one or the other. You just go out, explore, find things to do, and then do them.
Right. That's what I would prefer, as opposed to a Skyrim type. Hey, here's your main quest. Go do that whenever you like. Also, there's all these other fucking things, and I'm gonna tell you about them. I guess Skyrim isn't the right one to do. Yeah. Witcher. There's all these other things that you can do. Go do them. Go do them. He's over there. He's got a thing for you. Go talk to him. No, just let me want to talk to those people, and then go do it without you having to like, hey, go fucking talk to them.
To the point, an interview I read said that like you can get out of the game what you want to get out of it. Like you can theoretically learn more about the story than somebody else by what you decide to do in the game. You can actually, they were saying like it would be brutal, but you could just walk out of the first cave and go beat the last boss in the game when it's done.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I would prefer. However, I'm still not, like, I've watched the gameplay and I've watched the trailer.
I think the combat looks cool.
I think it's going to be one of those things that if I do end up liking it, I'm not going to like it until I play it. Because looking at what I've seen so far, I keep thinking to myself, why? And I'm weary of making franchises just randomly open world for the sake of them being randomly open world.
Yeah.
I've gotten burned by that recently. Do you want to talk about it for an hour?
No.
The Metal Gear Solid 5 cast.
Part 4.
Oh, it ain't even part 4.
Part 25, Section 3.
There you go.
Okay.
That's more like it. Subsection 8.
So anyway, we'll move on from that. We'll go with the worst press conference of the week by far. EA's! Congratulations, EA. You managed to make last year worse somehow. It did kind of... It was bookended well, though, I will say. They showed off Titanfall 2 trailer. It will have a single-player campaign this time around, and will launch on October 28th, 2016 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. You could sign up for the beta right now, but I think that's done now.
Now, like, the single-player campaign, that's good and all, but I don't want it to be like where Battlefields is, where it's like, oh, here's a story that has nothing to do with anything, but it's single-player.
And it'll last 4 hours, so, like, you know, that's nice. You'll get 4 hours of single-player, and then play our multiplayer for the rest of the time.
I gotta say, though, I picked up Battlefield 4 not too long ago, when it was on sale for $5. I'm liking it.
And then there was like a half hour of FIFA.
Ooh,
and then another half hour of stuff they weren't ready to talk about clearly, like Mass Effect Andromeda. That game's not coming out till like 2020 at this rate, at the stuff they're showing. They basically said you do come from the Milky Way galaxy on an expedition and woke up from deep sleep in Andromeda knowing nothing about where you are.
There's gonna be 4 novels.
You're the alien here.
Yeah. And so no one will actually know what's going on except for like 5 people, because no one actually reads the novels.
If they put those in audiobook form.
That's the dumbest tagline they could have said for that.
The game is being built in the Frostbite engine.
This is the dumbest tagline they could have said for that. Okay, you could go to Earth in, like, one of the games for a very brief period of time. You were an alien in all of the situations you were already in. Oh, you're the alien here. Yeah, you were the alien everywhere else, too. Dumbass fucking catchphrase.
More information will be given on the game apparently later this fall. The segment ended with like one of their developer diary style videos that had like 2 seconds of gameplay at a time sprinkled throughout it. Looks pretty, but
I'm shooting something. Alright, let's explain that shot right there.
They went on to announce their EA Originals. This is their Indie Ideal initiative, like their Unravel game. Fee was shown off, a very spiritual game taking place in a forest. Song will play a very important part in this world. Very exploration-based. The game will not tell you what to do. An experience-based game.
So it won't state the obvious every 6 minutes? Or more like 60 seconds?
Just about. The game, what they showed off was a third-person platformer. It looks like they're going for like the emotion of Journey mixed with something slightly more action-based. So, be interested to see what it's about.
Real quick, Matt texted me, talked to me about D&D real quick. Hey, could I play a wizard with a wizard archenemy that is pure evil that I always have to fight to protect a kingdom or a town? If you don't want me to, LOL. Or if you don't want me, OP, LOL. Oh, town instead of kingdom. If I don't, okay, I got that now. Then I just get tired of fighting and leave, but he gets lonely and keeps following me so we can fight. Me. You aren't the main character of that YouTube show. Okay, I don't know if you watched The Wizard of Oz, but could I have something like that? Reread that text message. I already told you no.
That's funny.
The Star Wars game update. I put that in finger quotes because they just told us everything they announced like a month before. Star Wars Battlefront 2 will be coming next year. It will feature content from the new films. 2018 will be Visceral's Star Wars game. This is Amy Hennig, who's famous for writing Uncharted 1 and 2, and she's got credits for 4. A 5-second gameplay clip was shown, though, a guy walking out of a building on a desert planet with some TIE fighters flying by. Looked really nice. And then Respawn's entertainment game will be a third-person action game. That's basically all they said, is just as fast as I said it.
So, wasn't stuff from like the movies and everything supposed to be DLC for Battlefront?
No, they eventually said that they weren't going to do that. There was a small DLC where they added the Battle of Jakku.
Which technically took place before the movie.
Yeah, that's why they could add it. They said that Battlefront was going to be all about the original 6.
And they still haven't announced the fourth piece of DLC. They still haven't announced the 4th piece of DLC, which makes me think that might be Rogue One.
That'd be dumb if they're not putting any of the... I mean, I guess it fits, but it's still
droids.
Dumb.
Like, not version 2. I want, like, Roger, motherfucker.
Roger.
So anyway, the conference closed with their biggest game that probably the most people are looking forward to from them, Battlefield 1.
That looks good.
This game... this is the game that the team wanted to make and is a very refreshing palate cleanser for them, they said. Weather will affect the multiplayer gameplay. For example, vision, what you can hear, how certain vehicles will handle. So that's kind of neat. So like if it's raining, your vehicle moves slower because of the mud and all that. You can fly blimps.
Yeah, I saw the airships and I saw like the zeppelins, like wow, that's the same thing. The biplanes triplanes shooting at the airships, but I saw another article, a thing about Battlefield 1 where EA execs didn't want to do it because they were worried no one would know what World War I was.
Anyway,
so the game's called Battlefield 1, right?
Right.
Yeah.
What is with the trend of...
It's called Battlefield 1 to denote that it is the earliest Battlefield.
Okay.
Because they're going back to World War I, also another
They
tie-in.
couldn't call it like...
But it's going to be the first, because it's the earliest Battlefield.
Okay, at least they have a reason.
Yeah.
They couldn't call it like Battlefield the Great War or something?
They could have, but they didn't. I'm looking forward to it because I was
good.
never really into Battlefield, and then, like I said, I picked up Battlefield 4 a couple weeks ago when it was on sale for $5.
Well, and I'm excited because
looks good.
my issue with Battlefield has always been like, can't find anybody, oh, sniped in the head. They said they're working on that this time. Like they don't want it, because a lot of people do like that. They don't want to lose the feeling of the scope of things, but they do want to make it less frustrating for newer players.
Yeah. And I watched a sniper video and the guy had like a bipoded sniper and he was shooting. But like I saw another guy, he was in like a sidecar of a motorcycle, like hopped out with a submachine gun, like mowed everyone down, hopped back in, the dude drove him away.
So
then it was raining and you couldn't see anyone. It was scary.
They had the actual gameplay reveal. They showed off a 32 versus 32, and it was a best of 3 match, and it had a bunch of celebrities. And it was hilarious because Snoop Dogg was there.
Oh yeah,
Snoop Dogg was there, and they're all like, "So you feel nervous, Snoop Dogg?" He's like, "No, I've got some special powers that I can't tell you guys about." And then they cut to him in the room, and he's just smoking weed.
He just got a blunt just hanging out of his mouth, like gaming.
An open beta will be open later this summer.
I signed up. You just gotta sign up for the Battlefield Insider emails.
And Battlefield 1 will be out October 21st, 2016. Very interesting that EA has 2 shooters a week apart from each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Bethesda's press conference. It started with id's next game. After successfully rebooting Doom, Quake Champions will be their next game. It will be a competitive arena-style shooter for PC. It will not have single-player as of this moment. They're going for more of the Quake 3 arena. So it's nice. Doom's multiplayer wasn't anything ooh and ah over about. From what I've heard, I've barely played Doom, but this is actually coming from id, so it'll probably be decent. They're trying to make it very accessible to all skill levels, and more information will be revealed at QuakeCon in August.
I watched like a 40-minute video the other day about the evolution of first-person shooter bots. It was really interesting. I guess, just to throw out some information, I guess originally, until the bots were able to see you, they would stand just at the ready on the map until the first time you came in line of sight, and then it would start to learn your movements, and then imitate those movements. And its main priority was whenever it could see you, just shoot at you directly, but continue about those movements that it's learned from you. And then it eventually evolved. I guess in Quake 3, the way that they did it was they prioritized picking up items. That's why you'll always meet bots in Quake 3 and Quake 3 Arena if you stand around the items on the ground, because they're going to come for them eventually, because that's how they prioritize movement instead of learning your movement. And a lot of the people who had to make maps had to figure out how to program the bots for them. So they would create items that were invisible and impossible for players to pick up, that then the bots would go to those. Yeah, it was really interesting.
Huh.
Anyway.
So they stressed that this is a PC exclusive, like you'll be able to unlock the frame rate and all that other good juicy PC stuff.
You can make it so you can see like the scope of 195 degrees, because that's how you play Quake. 195 degree scope.
Elder Scrolls Legends, the card game.
Still haven't played it.
It's talked about.
Haven't played it.
The game will contain a single-player campaign, and they showed off the opening cinematic for this. And they went on to say that beta feedback has been overwhelmingly positive and that more betas will be going out shortly.
I got a second beta. Like, they sent me another one. Like, and as far as I know, they didn't shut down the beta I had been in. So they just sent me another one. I think it's because they realized I hadn't logged in.
I read an update about Elder Scrolls 6. They're all like, well, it's in the pipe, but we're not actually working on it right now.
Yeah.
Christ, I just got to the Todd Howard stuff, man.
Oh.
Spoilers.
So,
To be fair, he did make that statement after E3, and you told Matt to look up the stuff after E3.
true. New Fallout stuff was teased. Contraptions will be out next week, and so it's out now, and have a bunch of stuff for settlement buildings, including elevators and conveyor belts.
Yeah, it's like...
Is there pre-war shit yet?
It's like fucking Rube
I
Goldberg
have no
shit.
idea.
I'm
Probably
waiting
not.
for the Nuketown DLC.
Vault Tech Workshops comes out July 2016 and will allow gamers to build their own vaults within Fallout 4.
What?
Exercise bikes for
That's
your
cool.
dwellers were shown off. And then Nuka World will be coming in August 2016. They didn't explain it during the show. I have no idea what it entails, but they were all like,
Basically,
look, an amusement
Nuketown
park.
is a different thing.
Oh,
Nuketown
yeah.
is a map from
Yeah. From Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Basically, that DLC is you get to play the game as a raider.
Oh, that's awesome. That's cool.
And then Fallout Shelter is receiving an update and will be adding more things to do in general, as well as there will be a PC version of the game.
I forgot that was a thing.
I got bored after like 10 minutes.
I got bored after like 10 days. I'd just open it every once in a while and be like, oh, I gotta tap these things. Alright, nothing else to do.
The last thing that Todd Howard announced at the show itself was the Skyrim Special Edition. This is the remaster. It's coming to PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It will be released on 10/28/2016. If you have everything for the PC version,
So
like all the
three
DLC packs,
DLCs,
yeah, you'll get it for free.
It's just 3 DLCs, so yeah.
Yeah.
And then, kind of like you said, to elaborate more after the conference during an E3 interview, he did mention that they have 3 games in development right now, all the size of a Fallout or Skyrim, and that Elder Scrolls 6 would be the 3rd game. So that's the last one they're gonna put out of the 3 games they have cooking.
What?
Well,
I
I mean,
want me some fucking Elder Scrolls, goddammit.
Well, they want to keep going with Elder Scrolls Online for a while and see if they can get more.
Why?
Because
They can't.
I mean, they're still gonna try.
But they can't.
You know how MMO markets work.
Bad.
Yes, it was, but you know how MMO markets
Well, the
work.
one Tamriel update basically boosted everyone to be like,
we're getting there. We're getting there. We're in Bethesda. A new game from Arcane, the maker of Dishonored, Prey, was shown off, new in quotes. It's an immersive first-person game. You are on a space station and a human test subject to change humanity forever. The space station comes under attack from aliens. More will be announced at QuakeCon in August. This game is scheduled to come out in 2017 for the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. They did go on to say that this is the Prey, this is Prey 2, but they're just rebooting the series. They're not going to call it Prey 2.
See, but that's the thing. Everything they showed off and everything they talked about is completely different from the Prey 2 that was already in existence and almost finished.
So they probably just
So they
scrapped
are
it.
just
No,
entirely
yeah.
rebooting it, and it's not Prey
like
2.
the one thing that irks me
It's a new game.
with game conferences when they're all like
They could have
here's
called it
like
fucking anything.
Here's like one sentence about this game. If you want more, come
Wait.
to our own conference like 6 months later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, don't even fucking mention it then.
So then Elder Scrolls Online was up next. Like Matt said, the one Tamriel update will make it so you can group up with anyone of any faction with no level restrictions. Play the parts of the game you want to play when you want to, assuming you're out of the tutorial area. So this update will be out later this year. So, like you said, basically, if you buy the game and you want to go raid with your friend, you can. I don't know how the gear scales,
So
but
It kind of sounds like how Borderlands did it, where it's like makes everything harder if you're with a higher level person or
But
vice versa.
there's 2 problems with that. One, you actually have to have friends who play it, and 2, you actually have to have content that you want to go do.
And 3, you have to, play it.
So then Bethesda talked VR. They had Doom and Fallout 4 demos available for those at E3. Doom seemed to be more of an experience that they showed off, but they announced that Fallout 4 will be an actual release in 2017 for the HTC Vive. Then they closed the show with a way too long Dishonored 2 bit, which, I mean, the game looks good, but just they had a good flow to the rest of their conference, and this just lasted forever. They started in this section with a world premiere trailer. It looked really good. NPCs will have daily cycles, so like theoretically you can watch. I mean, it'll be a sped up day. Obviously, you don't have to sit there for an entire day, but you can watch and see what they do, kind of like what you do
like
in
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Okay.
An actual game trailer was shown off next, with the female character Emily being played, because you can play as her or her brother. The game will have many variables. They said that it is possible that no two gamers will ever have the same experience doing certain missions in the game. They showed off a trailer of someone doing a mission when a dust storm randomly blew in, and it changed their entire strategy.
Dust storm!
There was another gameplay trailer shown off Oh my god. There was another gameplay trailer of another mission showing off the powers and items. This trailer showed an item that allows you to travel through an area in an alternate timeline while still being able to see the actual timeline. You can jump between the two to assassinate unsuspecting enemies. How they showed this off is they were in a mansion, and the timeline they were traveling in, it was destroyed and vacant, and then they would pop into the actual timeline that was full of life and strike and take out their enemies.
That's cool.
The game is scheduled for release on November 11th, 2016 for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. There will also be a limited run collector's edition that comes with Corvo's mask and Emily's ring. Corvo's the brother, the male character you can play as. Pre-ordering any edition of Dishonored 2 for a limited time will get you the definitive edition of Dishonored, so the current Gen 1 for PS4 and Xbox One for free.
I played the first one, and I did the non-violent assassinations for every character.
So you didn't just have rats running around?
Nope. I liked it. But I guess I read an article about the second game where you can beat the game without using any powers, too.
That's cool.
In the interest of time, we're just going to kind of touch on Ubisoft's. I think the big news out of that is Fractured Butthole will be coming out December 6th, I believe it is.
What?
Yep.
That's the name of the game?
Yeah, it was announced
It's South Park.
Oh, okay.
South Park, the Fractured Butthole.
Okay.
But like
the Fractured
B-U-T.
Butthole. W-H-O-L-E.
Get
It's
it?
a pun.
Get it?
I get it.
That and Tom Clancy's Wildlands actually looks really good.
That looks cool.
Yeah, it's basically the single player. It's basically all the parts of the Division people liked without the
Well, like, I really
looting
liked,
and hacking.
I really liked Ghost, Future Soldier, the one before the Division. And that was really cool because you have these, like, cloak things where you could turn, like, kind of invisible. Like, if they learned where you were, they could see you. But, I really liked the gameplay video for Wildlands. Because, like, there's the dude with the sniper rifle watching all the other dudes go into the building. And then they're all like, oh crap, he's running. So one guy hops on a motorbike and the rest of them hop in a Jeep and, like, drive around and chase the dude.
That's pretty cool. Alright, and then, last but not least, Sony's press conference, which I thought they had the best conference of the show. It kicked off with a trailer for the new God of War. It is indeed Norse mythology and shows off an older, less angry, while still just as angry at the same time, Kratos, hunting with what appears to be his son. It is, because he was all like, didn't your mother teach you how to do anything? Blah, blah. It looks really good. It kind of gave me more of a Dark Souls vibe, but then again, it's moving away from the hack and slash of the first screen. It's more of just a third person action kind of game now. So yeah, it showed him off like hunting with his son, we can assume.
Jumping between mythologies.
See, I didn't really get like a Dark Souls feel from it. I got more of a Darksiders feel from it.
Yeah, that's probably fair to say. They did say that they're open. It's not full open world. They're going for a Tomb Raider, the newest one, the Rise of the Tomb Raider. How that worked, where it was big open areas that you could explore a lot in that area, and then it would funnel you into the next big open. So it's more like you can't, like, once you move on, you can go back later, but it's like you go into this big area,
like,
do your story
like
bit
the-
there,
it's
then
like
you
the
move into the
original
next
Tomb
area to
Raider
do your
too.
story bit there.
No, it's like Shadows of Mordor.
Yeah, never.
That game fucking pissed me off.
Jesus.
You were there. That dude that kept killing me every time
Oh,
I tried
yeah.
to assassinate him.
Yeah, Matt was not happy.
This is important to point out. Like, this isn't a reboot of the story or anything. Like, it will Like, he still has all his Greek markings on him. People have paused it and looked at everything. Like, he just came here to chill out after killing all the Greek gods.
We were actually talking about it last night over at Dylan's. We've got a number of theories of how it's coming to be. So we might do an episode on that about that, or an episode of Dialogue Bark about that.
All right. The Last Guardian was shown off yet again. Now with 2 giant bird dogs. The game will come to PS4 on October 25th and will be the first fall AAA PlayStation 4 exclusive since the damn console launched.
I mean, I will believe that actually will be the launch date when it releases.
Oh yeah, no, they would not have dated that game again if they weren't damn sure.
I'm skeptical.
That game's done. Oh yeah, you have every right to be skeptical, but that game's done. Like, it's coming out. Horizon Zero Dawn was shown off right before E3. That got delayed out of 2016. I think we talked about that in episode 59.
They just shipped GameStop like empty cases like an hour before release. Hey, we're delaying it.
Detroit Become Human was shown off next. This was made by Quantic Dreams, who are famous for Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls. This is one of your choice games.
I wanted to play Heavy Rain.
I heard Heavy Rain's better than Beyond Two Souls, but I don't know. I've never played either of them.
I heard that Heavy Rain is definitely better than Beyond Two Souls, but it also isn't good.
The people who basically, Until Dawn, I heard, was touted as the studio who out-Quantic Dreamed Quantum Dream. So basically they go for the same thing,
Well, they didn't,
but they did it better.
I don't think they went for the same thing. I think they went to make a game and that was and something that was good. And David, what the fuck is his name? David Cage?
Sounds right.
David Cage just had his head up his ass. He's like, no, fuck it. We gotta get Ellen Page. That'll make our game great. No, don't fucking worry about the writing. It's Ellen Page. She's here. Fuck up.
So then, Days Gone was announced. This is Sony Ben's new game, and their first game since the Uncharted on the Vita.
Wait, who?
Sony Ben, up in Oregon.
Oh, okay.
So this game, it looks like it's a post-apocalyptic, like, zombie game, but they're not zombies. They're called like walkers or something like that. They're actually,
you can't use the Z word.
They still require sleep, like they're alive, but like something has infected them to make them like moving hordes like zombies.
Kind of like what do you call it?
They basically just became animals.
Yeah, like I Am Legend.
They actually, and what's interesting about I Am Legend's a good. I guess World War Z would be a better image to put in people's head. They ended the conference with gameplay of this, which felt kind of weird. Like it almost felt like there was supposed to be something at the end, and then they had to put something there. Maybe Neo, who knows? But it's a lot it's horde based. So like you get like massive amounts of these things coming at you at once, and you have to set up ways to do it. At first, like I was like, oh, they're doing Last of Us 2. Like it looked like that at first, but the story's supposed to be like it's a biker gang who are trying to stay together during an apocalypse.
Oh,
so
interesting.
It'll be kind of neat to see. Late 2017, 2018. When they were asked if you could safely assume it would be a 2017 game, they said we're shooting for 2017, but it's not safe to assume anything. Anyway, they moved on to PlayStation VR, and they officially announced that PlayStation VR will launch on October 13th, 2016. The kitchen demo from last year's E3 was revealed to be Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, and it will be fully playable in PlayStation VR.
That'll probably suck.
Because
Capcom.
Batman Arkham VR was also shown off and will come exclusively to PlayStation VR. It's like a 2-hour minigame where you're Batman solving mysteries. It's more of like solving mysteries. You're not actually out fighting or anything.
Ow.
So you're actually being a detective that they allude to but never really show in most things involving Batman.
Now,
except for like Detective Comics.
Yeah.
That's the only series that he actually does any detective work in.
Now with VR being so like new, I don't like the exclusive stuff. Like Oculus is putting DRM in their workshop.
It's just like another platform.
It's stupid.
It's stupid for them to be doing it since they're supposed to be compatible with the same thing. Like a Vive is not something you play video games on an Oculus is not something you play video games on. You play video games on your fucking PC. And if you're gonna tell me that I have to buy an Oculus instead of a Vive, first off, fuck you, and second, fuck you.
Like, it's like saying, oh, you gotta buy this peripheral controller to play this game.
You gotta use this Mad Catz controller. Suck my dick.
Mad Catz VR helmet.
It'll be like Sword Art, where everyone just dies using.
They showed off.
It's a full fucking helmet. That's really uncomfortable to wear.
And just gives you an aneurysm after like an hour of using it.
It's the Virtual Boy taped to a medieval steel helmet.
Well, no, it's like 5 Virtual Boys torn apart with their innards then taped to the inside, so it's just even worse.
There you go.
Yeah.
They showed off a couple other VR
nails.
experiences, but if you're interested in that, you can go take a look. And then, interestingly enough, I like the way they transitioned this, because they didn't say the title of the game or anything, but they showed off this really neat, they took off, and they had like a space shooting section, and then there was first person shooting out in space, and everybody's from the podcast I listened to at that point, everybody was like, is this a VR game? Because this looks really cool. Like, it looked really good. They were like grappling hooking people to them in space and killing them that way. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. It was really funny too, because the people I was watching some live streams of people watching the conference at the same time, and they were like, wow, this looks really good, and I was like, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and they're like, oh, that looks terrible. It's like, hey, the game looks decent. I mean, they got really unlucky with Battlefield 1 announcing when they did.
They didn't get unlucky with it. They could have done that themselves, and they've decided not to do it a number of times. That they didn't get unlucky. They ignored what their fans had been telling them they wanted, and now they're paying the price.
And while that still is the truth, I think it's coming, but since they have 3 studios working on it now, and they're on 3-year cycles, this game's probably been greenlit and going for 3 years almost now.
Yeah, and for more than 3 years I've been hearing people say, can we go back to World War I? I've been hearing that for years.
I want to, Korea.
I've been hearing Korea, I've heard Civil War, I've heard another Vietnam, because people fucking loved whichever Battlefield was Vietnam.
I don't remember that one.
I really hope it's called Battlefield Vietnam.
So wait, if Battlefield 1 is supposed to be the earliest one in the title, does that mean they can no longer go back earlier?
No, they just have to be
Battlefield 0.5.
Yeah, 0.5 or -1 or
Battlefield
what they do is
-1.
What they do is they just go with the decimal points as close to it's 0.9999. So if they ever have to go back further, they can go 0.9998.
There is a Civil War game that's in development by an independent studio right now. And they're showing some alpha footage, and it looks cool because he's shoots, and he's oh, gotta reload my musket, and he's getting hit with musket balls, oh my god, I'm not reloading fast enough.
That's why you hide in the trench.
I know what I feel like when I start getting hit by balls.
Next was the most important announcement of the entire trailer. Crash Bandicoot 1, Crash Bandicoot 2, and Crash Bandicoot Warped will all be getting HD remastered from the ground up for PS4 in 2017.
At that point, it's a remake.
I'm very excited. Crash will also be coming to Skylanders this October, which I'll get that toy. Whatever.
It was called Battlefield Vietnam. God damn it. There was another one too. That wasn't the only one they had.
There was a couple Vietnam games for PS2.
So of course, the only way you can follow up Crash Bandicoot is Kojima. So Kojima came off on stage to tease his upcoming project entitled Death Stranding. The game will feature Norman Reedus buck naked with a baby that turns invisible and into ink. No idea. The game is still a ways off, as Kojima announced he still hasn't settled on an engine. In fact, he made he's narrowed it down to 2, and he's made the trailer in both engines, and he's just watching them apparently all the time, seeing which one he likes better.
That sounds right.
So yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this game's a PlayStation 5 game. I feel like it's a ways off, because when they've asked him, they're basically like, hey, Kojima, why did you settle with Sony? And he's like, I just had to tell them I had an idea for a game. I didn't have to show anything off. So be on the lookout for that. The conference ended with Insomniac Games, famous for the first three Spyros, Ratchet & Clank, and Sunset Overdrive. They will be making a PS4 exclusive Spider-Man game.
I don't know it was PS4 exclusive.
Now it better be open world where I can actually land on the street.
You will.
Not like Spider-Man 1 where it's like, oh, you fell off the building, you died.
Yeah, that was awful. That game was awful, though. Go back and try playing it now.
Okay. All right, and we'll wrap the show up this week with Matt's wrap-up.
Nintendo has confirmed that Scott Moffat is departing the company and his position is being eliminated and spread throughout the marketing force. He is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing for Nintendo of America.
Nintendo has a marketing department?
Yes.
Yes. Yep, so his position, he's leaving the company for amicable reasons, and they're splitting his work.
Then again, from what, and they don't just flat out say it, but from what it sounds like, Nintendo of America knows what the hell's going on, but then Japan's all like, no, don't do it that way.
Yeah, like, we know how to market to Americans. No, we don't. PlanetSide 1's servers were shut down today, ending their 13 years of the MMO FPS.
And today is the 2nd of July we're recording on.
So, yeah, the story came out today.
Okay.
And I watched...
I'm surprised it was still going with PlanetSide 2. I mean...
Yeah, they kept the servers up until today. And I watched a video where everyone's all like, 13 minutes till it ends. And, like, the world they were on, like, I guess they coded in, like, a meteor storm that, like, destroys the planet while the server is shutting down.
That's awesome.
That's kind of neat. I was about to say, because that's not, like... And maybe I'm wrong, because I never played the original PlanetSide, but unlike... Like, Guild Wars and Guild Wars 2 are different enough where I can understand running both of those games at the same time. Was PlanetSide 2 that...
Yeah, if they ever give you the fucking effort to give you your goddamn password back.
Maybe that's how they plan on just getting rid of that game.
Fucking
Eventually they're just
assholes.
going to be all like, oh, nobody logged
If anybody
on.
from ArenaNet is listening to this goddamn podcast, fuck you.
Send us to Jim Sterling, too.
Yeah.
And I was reading some comments, and people were like, well, I guess PlanetSide 2 got better after launch. There's a lot of player-conscious updates. Like, you level up a lot faster now than you did at launch. Because that's what sucked. Like, you could, like, spend a week playing the same class and then get, like, one little thing.
See, my problem was always the Battlefield 1 problem, or Battlefield in general problem, where I'd be running around for, like, hours. Like, where is somebody? And then, snipe.
Yeah. But, and then there's, like, base building now. You can build stuff in the areas and stuff. And then Steam user Palm Desert has reached level 1000 on Steam. Levels and trading cards were implemented in 2013. And how he got to level 1000 is actually 1029 is his level. He has amassed 5,029 games and 3,372 DLCs in his library. Steam's library is just over 9,000 games.
So he's got a decent amount over halfway.
He also has...
I have 200.
He also has
200.
58,666 items in his inventory.
Dear Mother of God.
I might have that much, though, to be fair. I never clear that thing.
The worst part about that is, like, okay, he put all of those resources into leveling. Well, I guess he's the one we've all been selling to, maybe. But, like,
right.
Probably.
Think of the amount of money you could make on the Steam store with that.
Like, just all those trading cards built up and stuff.
Yeah, like 7 cents per card.
Total War's Warhammer Blood and Gore DLC released today, and it will set you back about $3. And a lot of people were pissed, like, why do I have to pay $3 for Blood and Gore and new animations? And I looked into it. Germany and some other countries will rate the game M, so they say, okay, if you want the extra stuff, pay $3 so we can keep our game T-rated.
Makes sense.
But that doesn't make sense. I mean, $3 is $3. Like, if you want it that bad, you're gonna pay it.
Yeah.
But
and
why does that have to be the case here?
Yeah.
Because it takes less resources for them to
make 2 versions.
And like I bought the Blood and Gore DLC for every Warhammer I've owned because it does add new animations. It's not just they got shot by an arrow, blood comes out.
Right.
Like there's like decapitation animations and things like that.
$3 is a price point where if people who want it are gonna get it, and if you
Yeah.
don't, then
Speaking of Speaking of censored versions in other countries, so China doesn't allow you to have skeletons in your game. It's a common thing that happens. So like the undead in WoW look completely different, stuff like that. Somebody in China jokingly suggested, because obviously they know that characters can be skeletons, but they're not. But anyway, somebody in China has drawn up and suggested a skin for Leoric called the Cleaner skin, and he's a janitor, and his fucking mace is a mop, and when he does his thing where he separates from his body and goes out a little bit, he's mopping as he does it, and his ultimate, the wall, is just a bathroom stall.
That's funny.
It's pretty good.
BioShock the Collection has been announced officially.
Jesus, about time.
It will include BioShock, BioShock 2, plus the Protector Trials and Minerva's Den DLC, and BioShock Infinite, plus Clash in the Clouds and Columbia's Finest, Burial at Sea, Episodes 1 and 2. It will set you back $59.99. Everything is being remastered except BioShock Infinite, as it already meets current gen standards.
On PC.
On PC.
On console, they are remastered.
Yes. And it runs smoothly on high visuals. Players who already own BioShock, BioShock 2, or Minerva's Den will be able to upgrade their respective copies for free.
And it's also important to mention, not that I see this being an issue for anybody, BioShock 2's multiplayer is not being redone.
I didn't even know BioShock 2 had a multiplayer.
Neither did I until I read about it. Minerva's Den, I heard, is like a really crazy good piece of DLC.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never played 2 at all. I bought it, but on a Steam sale for like $3.
Windows 10 Anniversary Update drops August 2nd, and that brings the cross-play with Xbox. You also have to update your Xbox with the summer update, which hasn't been announced a date yet, but it'll be coming out soon. The Windows 10 Anniversary Update will also be ending the free Windows 10 update. If you do not update by
It's ending
August,
it by just forcing it. It's
Nope, a lady actually got Microsoft to pay her $10,000 for forcing her into an update.
I'm just going to tell them, can I?
And Microsoft no longer tries to trick you to download it now with a previous update. It's like you're gonna upgrade to Windows 10 if you click this button.
Good.
But yeah, after August 2nd, you'll have to pay $119.
It says that on all the buttons on this window.
That's awesome. But yeah, $119 after August 2nd. And then on the VR front, I saw this on PC Gamer, I think. It was 84 hours of Olympic coverage will be available in VR, such as the opening and closing ceremonies.
See, I think that's really neat. I like that. I like those uses of VR. Put one of those cameras on the 50-yard line at a football game or something. That would be really neat.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all the news I've collected.
All right. The news took up just about all the show this week. If anybody has played anything they really want to talk about this week, can fit it in real quick, but don't have a ton of time to spend on it.
I had nothing.
Competitive play on Overwatch dropped.
Yeah, if you had
for PS4 too.
Yeah,
finally,
it's on everything now.
Well, I didn't know it came out on Xbox. I just know that
it came out on Xbox 2 days earlier than PS4. PS4 was the last one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ooh. Have you, Nick? Have you experienced the same problem of just constantly getting into games and having one person in your group drop?
No.
Constantly.
No.
I know
there was. Lucky.
There's a glitch that you can trigger with Genji, and I think you can do it with Hanzo.
Yeah.
Where you can force the server to crash.
Yeah.
What?
And then because it was considered an act of God, because the server thinks that it's its own fault that it crashed, nobody gets a loss.
Mm.
And some people will hold a team hostage. And, if you guys if you don't switch to fucking Mercy, I'm gonna crash the server.
Oh, you've run into that?
I haven't run into it.
Okay.
I haven't run into it.
I know that a few people...
But a lot of people will use it after their team won't play the people that they tell them to.
Are these people leaving during the placement matches, or just all in general?
In general. I actually never had a problem with it until after the placement match.
Because the placement matches, because in StarCraft, a lot of people will just start their placement match and leave the game to get the loss, so they get put in an easier division to start.
this was post placement matches for me. But apparently Blizzard is kind of reviewing it on a case-by-case basis, but actually starting banning people for using that glitch.
Oh, yeah. Because they're trying to figure out what's causing, because they're not 100% sure.
Right. But, like...
in the meantime, if they get you...
It's probably like a repeat thing, like... If you accidentally do it, don't do it again. Like
Right.
Like I'm pretty sure they're going on it by like a case by case basis of if you accidentally screw it up. Though the way I understand, you kind of have to really.
You have to be trying to do it. Basically, what it is
you go to a point that's like outside of the
server tries to check and see the coordinates of the Genji or the Hanzo. When it finds them, it goes they can't be there.
Right.
That's not a thing that can happen. So it tries to reset, kicks everybody back a couple of seconds. Since they've been there for a couple of seconds, it'll go, check them again. They can't be there, and it'll just keep stacking up until the server crashes.
Yeah.
So if you notice yourself start stuttering a whole bunch, and then the server crashes, like for good,
right,
that's what happened.
Now the only thing I've noticed on PS4 since that patch came out is. In competitive play only, it doesn't do this in normal. When I switch characters, it'll freeze me on the death screen for a while. Like, I'm still moving around with my new character, but, like, I see that screen, and then it'll kick in, and I'm wherever I was.
That's weird.
That is weird.
I've been playing some Rainbow Six Siege, trying to get better at it, because I gotta get to level 20 to play ranked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm level 8 right now, or 9. And, like, I finally had a good match. Because you play club gives you weekly things to get, like, in-game money and XP with, and then the game gives you dailies.
Okay.
And I was just like, you can go prone, and I'm laying in the corner with, like, my machine gun, and I place my trap, and they shoot my trap, so I'm like, oh, they're going to come through. And it was down to me and another guy, and then, like, I saw one person up, but he's dead. And then 3 people came through the same door. I'm just like, brr, reload, brr, reload. And then me and another guy, final fight, and I shot him. I was like, wow, that was like the best match ever. Usually I just get my ass handed to me. And then Minecraft, playing on the server.
Yeah.
Oh, new skins this summer. They haven't said when yet.
Oh,
cool. But either in July or August.
Yeah. Cool. Also, the Hyrule Warriors DLC, like the first bit of that for Hyrule Warriors Legends came out like yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was not that one. Too many Zelda games. The one for Game Boy with Windfish.
Oh yeah.
DX.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening. There we go. It was the Link's Awakening pack. So you actually play as Malon.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I need to put up my Wii U so I can actually try playing it, in high def with full textures instead of not. But
instead of just barely not stuttery.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I love the DS version, but it's still a lot nicer playing it on the Wii U.
Yeah.
On the bright side, they've also been handing out rupees like candy, so I've been able to catch up the new characters rather quickly.
I think it'd be cool if you could use your 3DS to connect with the Wii U and play multiplayer that way instead of the gamepad.
Yeah.
That way it could use some of the processing power of the DS, and it wouldn't have to cut your frame rate. That'd be nice.
Well, I also think it'd be nice if they were to actually make it so where you could cross-connect the saves.
Yeah.
So I don't have to re-level up everyone to 100. I mean, I'm halfway there, but it'd still be nice if I didn't.
Obnoxious,
yeah.
All right. Well, that's been another exciting episode of the NIBScast. NIBScast is a product of NIBSmedia. If you like the podcast you just listened to, go ahead, like, comment, share, subscribe on YouTube. Then go ahead, click in the links below in the description. Click on that link. There we go. Words. They're coming out of my mouth eventually. Click on the link in the description below. Find our Facebook page. You can go ahead and like us there, NIBSmedia. Be on the lookout for
we've got another exciting podcast now, Dialogue Box. Be on the lookout for that. Nikki13 leads that one. Yeah, so until next time, I'm Aaron.
I'm Nikki13.
I'm Matt.
I'm Josh.
We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.